Alma is a village boy who lives on a farm with his family. Every day, he works alongside his father in the fields, and almost his entire life revolves around the farm, the animals, and the land. When he turns 16, he finally goes to school. But from the very first day, he notices the strange looks from others. They mock him for his large build and constantly call him a country boy. One day, his teacher punishes him for something he didn't do. That is the moment Alma's patience runs out, because he feels like no one understands how hard he works or how much he wants to improve. So he decides to drop out and choose his own path. That night, while returning home, a heavy storm hits, and he is forced to take shelter at an inn. When the innkeeper realizes Alma is a rural boy, he tries to scam him and charges him extra. Alma, exhausted and with nowhere else to go, has no choice but to accept. When he enters the room, he sees another stranger already there. At first, Alma thinks he's in the wrong room, but the innkeeper explains that the room is for two people, with one shared bed. Alma and the man lie down, and since neither can fall asleep, they start talking. Gradually, the man learns that Alma works as a farmhand but has big dreams, like seeing the world. When the man hears that Alma left school, he shares his own life story, how becoming a university professor allowed him to travel across America. They talk until morning, and Alma begins to feel that maybe his life truly can change. The next morning, Alma returns to the farm and gives his family an important announcement. He wants to continue his education again, but not at the same old school. Instead, he plans to go to an academy in the city. At the new school, Alma finally feels noticed. One day after class, the track and field coach spots Alma's huge physique and invites him to attend team practice. At that time, the sport was still relatively new in America, so Alma had never even heard of it and wasn't interested. But the next day, while the team is training, Alma suddenly shows up. The coach quickly realizes that Alma has unusually strong and powerful jumps. A few weeks of training are enough to get Alma ready for the high school competitions. When the event begins, Alma earns the highest score in every category and practically leads the team to victory on his own. After the competition, one of the rivals calls him country boy again, and a huge fight breaks out. The next day, Alma goes to the university gym to play basketball with his friends. That moment, a professional coach walks into the gym. The basketball rolls across the court, and Alma, trying to retrieve it, jumps cleanly over a hurdle the coach had set up. The coach freezes. Alma jumps over the hurdle again, and this time the coach asks him to do something for him. He raises the hurdle higher and asks Alma to try it. Alma takes a running start, sprints, and clears the hurdle with a flawless jump. The gym falls silent for a few seconds. Everyone is stunned. The coach wants to recruit him for the university team immediately, but once he learns Alma is still a high school student, he becomes frustrated. He approaches the school principal and asks for a special exception. At first, the principal refuses, but the moment he hears Alma's last name and realizes he comes from a reputable family, he changes his mind and approves him. The next day, Alma starts training, but he keeps hitting the hurdle again and again. The coach has forced him to jump like everyone else, but Alma can only jump the way he used to leap over the farm fences. The coach gives him a few small tips, and this time, Alma clears the hurdle smoothly. Training gets tougher, and Alma performs so well that the coach decides to send him to the Olympic trials in Chicago. When Alma explains the situation to his family, they don't fully understand what he is aiming for. They just hope that in the end, he'll return and work on the farm. Still, they don't stop him. The decision is his. The next day, the coach regretfully tells him that they only managed to raise enough money for one person's trip. Therefore, Alma must travel to Chicago alone, and his coach can't accompany him. Training ends, and Alma boards the train to Chicago. Coach Burns and Stagg have gathered the best jumpers in the country there and are training them. Alma introduces himself and joins the group. He asks permission to try a few test jumps, but the players mock him and don't take him seriously. Alma ignores them and stands in position to make his jump, but just as he reaches the hurdle, Thomas knocks the bar down to ruin it. Alma returns to the starting line. This time, the team's bullies stand in front of him like a human wall. Thomas bets a few dollars that Alma won't dare jump over their heads. Alma starts running. The bullies duck in fear, and Alma soars right over them with a long leap. Thomas tells Coach Burns that Alma is insane and tried to hurt them. Without knowing the truth, Burns crosses Alma's name off the list. At that moment, Coach Stagg, who witnessed Alma's jumps, is deeply impressed. The next morning, everyone gathers for training. Burns reads the names of all the athletes, but he does not call Alma's name. Alma objects, but Burns replies that no such name exists on his list. Alma tries to call his own coach to fix the situation, but Burns says that even if the coach calls, he still refuses to include Alma on the team. Stagg still cannot get Alma's training from the previous day out of his head. He orders Burns to add Alma's name to the list, and Burns has no choice but to accept. From that day on, the real training begins. The athletes make fun of Alma's jumping style, but Stagg is the only one who recognizes his actual talent and supports him. A few days later, the final list of athletes going to the Olympics is announced, but Alma's name is not on it. Stagg hears from the committee members that none of the other jumpers reached Alma's height, but since he is not well known, the committee preferred to select more famous athletes. Stagg reluctantly tells Alma the news. Even so, Alma is placed on the reserve list and must travel with the team to the Olympics. If anyone becomes unable to compete for any reason, Alma will enter the competition. A few days later, the athletes board a ship to travel to Sweden for the games. Alma's left eye is infected, which only makes him more of a target for mockery. One of the athletes becomes seriously ill on the ship and may have to withdraw. When they arrive in Sweden, a reporter named Max approaches the team to prepare a report. Stagg introduces him to the best athletes on the U.S. team. That evening at dinner, Alma sits alone when two women enter the dining hall. The athletes get excited, and one of them goes upstairs with one of the women. The second woman jokingly invites Alma to sit at her table. Alma is so shy and naive that when the woman blows him a kiss from afar, he panics, his face turning pale, and immediately returns to his own table. Thomas seizes the moment and starts making fun of him. Alma, angry, shoves him back and leaves. Max follows him and talks with him for a moment. The next morning, the competition begins. Stagg explains to the team that each athlete has 3 attempts for each jump. The athlete who fell ill has been removed from the list, so Alma must take his place. The team begins warming up. Their strongest competitor is a professional German jumper named Leash. Max and his assistant are also present at the field to report. The event begins with the 60-foot hurdle. Thomas clears it with no trouble on his first attempt, and the other athletes successfully follow one by one. But when it is Alma's turn, his foot catches the hurdle and he misses the jump. Leash clears it easily afterward, increasing the pressure on Alma. Alma prepares for his second attempt, but repeats the same mistake. The athletes mock him again. Even so, Alma refuses to give up. He prepares for his final chance, focuses more carefully this time, and clears the hurdle with a clean jump. The height is raised for the next round. The athletes take their turns, most of them clearing the hurdle successfully, but Alma slips again and knocks it down. Stagg approaches him and encourages him. Alma tries once more and clears the hurdle with a precise jump. As the bar continues to rise, more jumpers are eliminated. Thomas misses his final jump and is out. He expects Alma to mock him, but instead he tells him he is one of the best jumpers he has ever seen. That reaction changes the way the others look at him. As the competition continues, the American athletes are eliminated one by one until only 2 remain. Leash has cleared every jump on his first attempt so far and is considered one of the main contenders for the gold. In the next round, another American athlete is eliminated, leaving only Alma. On his final attempt, he clears the hurdle and the entire stadium erupts in applause. Even Burns, who always belittled him, admits that Alma is an extraordinary jumper. In the final round, only Alma and Leash are left, and the winner will take the gold medal. Alma goes for his first attempt but misses and knocks down the hurdle. Leash steps up and also fails his attempt. Both move on to their second attempts and fail again. Alma takes a moment to step back from everything. He kneels and prays that he will succeed this time. Then, he starts running and clears the hurdle with a long, precise jump. The crowd explodes with applause. Now Lishi has one final attempt left, and the championship depends on this jump. He runs toward the hurdle, and just as he's about to clear it, he knocks it down. Alma becomes the champion. News of his victory spreads across the United States, and his family and all the coaches who supported him along the way are overjoyed. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do.